Hello vinyl community, this is Graham from North London. Just making a quick video. Today I went out to look for some records because the shops are open here now in the UK. Had a good look through a couple of stores that I quite often visit, but there wasn't anything particular that I was drawn to. I have a local store in Finchley, and that is not actually opening till tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to going there. It's a local independent store and has some good stock around jazz fusion, so looking forward to that. What I thought I would show is just some stuff I've been listening to recently, and it's a little bit of a theme of fretless bass, which is something I'm very drawn to. So kind of two big fretless bass players from the 70s, Jaco Pastorius, kind of needs no mention, and Percy Jones from Brand X, very different style of fretless bass player, but nonetheless hugely influential for people like Mick Kahn from Japan. Very kind of upside down, otherworldly tones coming out of the bass, lots of harmonics, false harmonics, etc. And to start off with, this is Percy Jones' Tunnels. These are CDs, by the way, that I'm going to show. This was a band he put together after Brand X folded. Tunnels is quite an unusual band, very eclectic music, centres around Percy Jones, but one of the things they've got a really interesting MIDI vibes player, along with a guitarist and drummer. The MIDI vibes player, Mark Vangon, is really, really interesting. Plays sort of double mallets. I've seen him, because I saw Percy Jones play in the Jazz Cafe in London in the early 2000s, I think it was, and it was fantastic. Percy Jones almost exclusively plays fretless bass these days. I've just ordered another album actually off eBay from another group that he put together and did a one-off album called Bang Tower. That's going to arrive tomorrow, so I may do a review of that next week. So Percy Jones Tunnels, which is very much jazz fusion, but with a kind of quirky, whimsical twist to it, very similar in style to Brand X, quite a similar kind of sound. The other album was a late 90s output from Brand X. The lineup had changed a bit when this came out. Brand X, of course, formed in the 70s, and are best known really for having Phil Collins on drums. They had a number of successful releases. It was very much a UK jazz fusion, quirky, whimsical sound, quite different to Weather Report, Return to Forever, Mahavishnu Orchestra, that sort of thing. This is an excellent album. Manifest Destiny came out in 1997. It was produced by David Henschel, of course, who produced Genesis, so kind of the connection there. Brand X were on the Charisma label in the 70s because of the Phil Collins connection. This is an excellent album. Again, sort of revolves around Percy Jones's fretless bass, but some really good, strong compositions on this. And a little bit of a quirk to mention that you don't really see now, was kind of a bit of a thing, I think in the late 90s. This CD, I've only just discovered, has 2 hidden extra tracks on it. And really, until I put it into a CD player to copy it onto my hard drive on my computer, I didn't know there was 2 extra tracks. I read up on Discogs that there may be a couple of extra tracks because it's a American release, this CD, and I found them, so it was rather nice. I'd never actually listened to them because I don't think my old CD player picked up the hidden tracks, so that was a quirk that obviously you don't really get now. Hidden tracks are kind of a bit meaningless, but there was 2 hidden tracks on this, so that was nice to get. Little bit of a left turn here. This arrived, I've been waiting for quite a long time. Keith Emerson, Lake and Palmer, passed away 2016. There were a couple of big tribute concerts, one in the UK that I went to in Birmingham, but one also in America, I think it was Los Angeles. And this is a CD from that tribute concert, which has been lovingly put together. It's taken quite a while to get out because of copyright and artists. Artists are often on different management companies, of course, and trying to get coordination is not as easy as people think. So this is a great release, about 2 hours of music, and there's a DVD as well, which is very well filmed. Lots of people on it, members from all sort Dream Theatre, Jordan Rudess, Mark Bonilla, who worked with Keith Emerson, Greg Bissonette on drums. Who else have we got? Steve Lukather from Toto, Rachel Flowers, the keyboardist, Brian Auger on organ. So some really great stuff on this. Eddie Jobson is on here as well, and it's very well presented. I love the artwork. I actually got a canvas print sent through by the artist of the cover, which I received last week. Is excellent. I've now got it up on the wall. And then the last 2 sort of don't generally talk about kind of bootlegs, unofficial releases, but these 2 are very hard to get. They're Jaco Pastorius. They're around 85, 86, when he was basically not finding it easy to get gigs, and he worked with some very loose trios in Greenwich Village in New York, and the 2 recordings, which are very raw, very loose, quite nice, lots of space for him and for him to sort of solo. Covers, lots of kind of cover versions that you wouldn't really expect. Sissy Strut, Dear Prudence, I Shot the Sheriff, but absolutely great. Power trio, Hiram Bullock on electric guitar and Kenwood Denard, who actually went on to play with Brand X, or play with Brand X before these concerts, and just really good listening to Jaco stretch out on these recordings that were actually made on a Sony Walkman cassette, so old analog equipment converted to digital by a guy called Neil Weiss, and he put them out on his Real World label. So a bit of controversy about these recordings. I think some money did go to the Pastorius estate. They were released after Jaco's death in '87. The first one is called Trio, this one, and it's volume 2 of 7 discs, and it's one of the best ones. And the other disc is called Trio 2, and this is volume 4, live in New York City. Different lineup, Jaco here with Hiram Bullock on electric guitar, but there's 3 different drummers. The recordings, the tapes are taken from 3 different nights. Kenwood Denard again, Steve Ferrone, who played with the Average White Band in the UK, Victor Lewis on drums as well. And here again, we've got quite a few standards. So we've got Fannie Mae, Dolphin Dance, which is Herbie Hancock. We've got a killer version of Teen Town by Jaco, Mercy, 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 Freedom Jazz Dance, some Jimi Hendrix in there, Purple Haze, and Changes with Buddy Miles. Great recording again, very loose, laid back feel to it, but some ferocious soloing, particularly by Jaco. So recommend that series. They're not easy to pick up, these CDs. I've actually had these for quite a while. I think they go for about £25 a piece now, but it was a great series and I was really glad to get them. So that's all for now. I'll do an update when I've been out and bought some vinyl, and hope everyone is keeping well. Speak to you soon.